Welcome back, everybody, to episode 5 of the Zone Podcast. I'm your host, Monte Dixon, along with my co-host, Banik Marati, and the guest that we usually always have, Mr. Giovanni Rivera. How you guys doing today?
Let's go.
Doing
I'm
great,
doing
Monte.
great.
I think it sounded
doing
like
great.
a part of the show, bro.
Doing astounding.
Always a
Well, you want
guest.
to be a co-host too?
Yeah, bro. I want to be a co-host, bro.
You want to be a co-host?
You gotta talk more, Gio.
Yeah,
You
bro.
gotta say it with your chest here. You gotta say it with your chest.
You guys go too deep into stats, and I'm just
You
like,
do. I'm sorry. I talk a lot. I
Yeah,
do talk a lot. I do. I never shut up.
Love debating. It's our thing. And the thing about debating is that's what we're doing right now because of this past weekend's games. What a great weekend of football. What a great
It was okay.
It was okay. I thought it was one of the
it
better.
was all right.
There
One
was some
of the
letdowns.
better playoff weeks that I've seen.
There were some letdowns. I think. I was
So
expecting some more entertaining games.
I don't know. I was fully entertained, except
I like
for
defense too, though.
yeah, defense is cool, but
Yeah, that was the main
offense-
story of the weekend. I feel like.
right. But that brings us to the first game of the weekend.
Yes.
The Rams played the Packers Saturday, where the Los Angeles Rams, lost to the Green Bay Packers 32-18, where Aaron Rodgers will be playing home next week against the Buccaneers on Sunday, 3:40 Eastern Time. What did you guys think about this game and why the Packers were successful against the Rams?
Well, it seems like the Rams. I don't know. They just didn't play good enough. I mean, they didn't play bad. They didn't have a bad game.
I feel like they
Right.
didn't execute enough.
Yeah, Jared Goff played okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
mean,
now
He had a
thought,
very good game.
I
He
thought
went
he
like
played.
21 for
I thought
27,
he played as good as he could. He went 21 for 27.
especially
I
on
mean,
the back.
the yards didn't look,
Yeah.
appealing. Only
Yeah.
170, but I mean, he did pretty well.
No, he
with it.
definitely did his best, and his
Broken
best is
thumb. He
his
had a
best
broken
is
thumb, right?
Yeah, his
Something
thumb
like
was he
Yeah.
had a broken thumb.
and his best is all right. He's not a great quarterback anymore. He was
He's
good for a
average.
year.
He's average.
There were also a report that Sean McVay and Jared Goff's relationship is bad.
Yeah,
You hate to hear that.
I read that
Especially
as well.
Jared Goff is making a ridiculous amount of money.
Yes.
You hate to hear that.
And he has 4 years left on it. So
Yeah. So maybe he's gone. Because I mean, is Sean McVay
Nah.
gone?
no, they're not. They're gonna work it out.
I
But,
hope so. You would hate to see it because who the hell is trading for Jared Goff? Not me.
I think a couple teams would.
But Cam Akers played really good. He's had a breakout postseason. I mean, he averaged 5 for a carry. They just don't. They just didn't. I mean, they didn't have Cooper Kupp. You hate to hear that. He's their best receiver. Yeah, they just didn't play a good enough game. Clearly, I mean, there's not much to say. Aaron Rodgers played also okay. Aaron Jones played great. Aaron Jones had a great game. He only had 14 carries, but he had 99
That's why
yards.
I feel like the Packers played. They won the game because they were able to run the ball with 3 different running backs very well.
And, I mean,
So
all
that
of them
helped
did
them.
great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like that was a big part of their win.
They all had over 4.5 yards per carry. I mean, that's fantastic. Alan Lazard went off.
Yeah.
Which is
Now,
funny.
Was this simply that the Packers were just simply better than the Rams, or did the Rams just not play a good game?
I feel like the Rams.
No, I think-
played a good game.
No, I think that the Packers won this game more than the Rams lost it. I mean, they're just a more talented team on offense compared to the Rams on defense. The Rams offense is not. I mean, it's not great, and you got to keep this Packers team has clearly shown us that they're going to score the football no matter who is on the other side playing defense. I mean, Jalen Ramsey didn't really lock anybody up. Devontae Adams kind of, he did his thing.
Yeah,
He was okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Lazard fried him one time. Jalen Ramsey. I can't remember who it was against. I'm pretty sure it was against Jalen Ramsey, which is what you hate to hear. But I mean, they played good. Rodgers spread the ball around. The running game was great. The Packers just went out there and they simply executed. As simple as that. They just
They
played big.
they just made a statement.
Yeah.
They made a statement.
So I'm gonna say, the Packers were just simply better than
Yeah.
the Rams. I mean, in order for the Rams to win, their defense has to play phenomenal, right? And the Rams have to establish a great run game because Jared Goff is pretty good when he's under center and play action. That's when he's a really good quarterback.
Yes.
But
as soon as his first read is gone, he's kind of bad.
Yeah,
like as soon as that first read is gone, he's bad. Pretty much.
Although Cam Akers did rush for 90 yards and 5 yards of carry, they only had 96 yards in total, which is not going to work at all.
No.
They got to Jared Goff at the right times. They sacked him at the right times. They had 4 sacks. Jared Goff played pretty well. He had an 84.4 QBR, which is definitely above average. Aaron Rodgers with a 92.1 QBR on the scale of 100. So, I mean, it just seemed like the Packers just were the better team, and the Rams defense didn't show up how they were.
They didn't play spectacular.
No,
if you have to play spectacular on defense to win a game, you're probably going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to bet on a team to play spectacular. But I think another really interesting point about this game has actually nothing to do with the game, but with giving these young quarterbacks these max contracts super duper early, because they did the same thing to Carson Wentz, who's in the same draft class as Jared Goff. Now he's benched. Jared Goff got 140 and 22 for 27 for 174 and touchdown in a playoff game is not $140 million. That's not a $140 million game.
No, it's not.
So I hope that teams kind of change their philosophy with giving these young quarterbacks all this money, because the Rams are fucked on cap. They're so screwed because they're paying Jalen Ramsey, they're paying Aaron Donald, and they're paying Jared Goff, which is why I said earlier, I think they might trade Jared Goff. I mean, he's just not good. He's not worth the money. But having a bad contract is the worst thing in sports.
But how many quarterbacks are better than Jared Goff? Like, who's available? Like, are they going to go? You think they're going to trade him and then go after like a Cam Newton or something?
I hope not.
Be much of an upgrade.
No, it wouldn't. It would be a downgrade, 100%.
There's not many quarterbacks out there because he lies like right in around the middle, maybe better half of the league, better half of the quarterback.
Yeah, because he's not terrible. Like I say, he's average. He's an average.
Would I be surprised if they traded Jared Goff maybe for a first round pick and drafted a quarterback? No.
All the quarterbacks going early.
Not all of them. You're gonna have Kyle Trask falling. You're gonna have Mac Jones probably second or third day, maybe even at latest. So they could probably trade. I mean, Kyle Trask. I don't think the Patriots would ever trade for Jared Goff, especially not the 13th overall pick. But I mean, that's a destination. They need a quarterback. You got the Colts who need a quarterback. Kyle Trask would probably be available at whatever they pick, probably like 22nd or something. So there's a bunch of options for the Rams. They just have to find the right suitor. And I know I'm quick to move on from people, like I was saying last episode, how they should fire Pete Carroll. But I mean, if you see Jared Goff is not worth $140 million, I mean, you got to get rid of him, in my opinion. But they probably won't. They'll probably hang on to him and hope and pray he develops, which he probably won't, because this is his fourth year and he hasn't changed. So,
Joe, what's your opinion on Jared Goff?
I don't think they should trade him. Okay. I think they should keep him.
No, that's under. I get that.
I think they should keep him.
I feel like
he'll eventually improve.
Right. I hope so. I really hope so, because I mean, I'm not praying on his downfall or something, but he also does need better receivers and a better O-line. But
here's my thing with your statement, Bennett. So talking about removing him right now and how they gave him a contract, all that. They were just in the Super Bowl, 2-3 years ago?
They were just in the Super Bowl.
So with him at quarterback. So can they be successful with him? Can he lead them to the Super Bowl? Yes, he showed that already. Although they did have a great defense, but he was the quarterback. And when you're the quarterback of a Super Bowl team, then you're going to be looked at in a higher light
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, I don't think it's time to move on from Jared Goff. I think I understand he has 4 years left. I mean, they just made the playoffs, the second round of the playoffs. So, I mean, they're not too far away from being a team that can go to the Super Bowl. Maybe they have maybe Jared Goff is a small problem, but I feel like it can be fixed. I feel like he can get better. I mean, you have off-season work, so I mean,
Yeah,
quarterbacks just don't always stay the same. Of course they get better
yeah, of course.
as time goes. I mean, it's not a course, but I mean, there's
Yeah, no, they
chance that
usually
it could
do
get
get
better.
better eventually.
Right.
But just to add some stats to the Jared Goff argument from playerprofiler.com, which is a really good website for these football stats. He's number 9. He's top 10 in danger plays, which is pretty much plays where the quarterback is putting the football, in a dangerous situation, fumbles, bad throws, stuff like that. He's number 12 in interceptable passes, which is what you hate to see. You probably don't want a quarterback that's in the top half of the league for interceptable passes. But also, I mean, you could look at he's barely top half in clean pocket percentage at number 15. And his receiver separation is where is it? It's not good. It's the receiver separation is terrible. Yeah, it's 27th in the league. So obviously, oh yeah, and he's the team is number 20th in dropped passes. So there's an argument for Jared Goff being bad. He puts the football kind of in poor situations. He doesn't really look. He kind of breaks down after his first read is gone. But also his receivers can't get separation, and his offensive line doesn't give him enough time.
They can't catch the ball.
So
either.
yeah, and they can't catch the ball. So there's definitely an argument for and against Jared Goff. Just to add some stats onto that.
So, like I said in the beginning, the Packers beat the Rams 32-18. They will be playing the Buccaneers on Sunday, 3:20 Eastern time. And that moves us to the second game of the weekend, which was a highly anticipated game.
Yes.
You could argue either side of this matchup. It was the Ravens versus the Bills, where the Ravens lost 17-3, and the Buffalo Bills will be going against the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship. So, why weren't the Ravens successful in this game? And did Lamar Jackson leaving in the fourth quarter, did that play a huge part? Could they have had a chance if Lamar played the whole game and didn't go out with a concussion? Gio?
I think the Bills just played the better game. On defense, they clamped them. The Ravens could barely. I mean, they were able to move the ball a few times, but not as much as they should have.
Okay.
And also, I feel like Lamar leaving didn't make a difference. I don't think they were gonna come back after that pick.
The Ravens just couldn't really get anything going. Their rushing game wasn't terrible. I mean, it was actually pretty good. Doing a little bit of quick math here, I would assume they had just over 150 yards rushing.
They had 150 exactly.
150 exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
So 150 yards, which is what they average for the year, right? So this was their average rushing game. Lamar just didn't execute when he needed to, which is what you hate to see. You hate to blame it on one person specifically, but it was what? It was 3-10, right? When he threw that red zone pick six.
Yeah.
I mean, that ended the game pretty much because the Ravens couldn't get anything going offensively all game. They just always seem to stall out, and you finally get in the red zone and you throw a pick six. That's just the backbreaker that the Bills were looking for, and it really just ended the game. I mean, that was it. That it's really crazy to say that a game came down to one play, but I feel like that was the play that really put the game away because who knows what happens if Lamar ties it up 10-10. I mean, anything could happen. It's tied, but then you throw a pick six, especially a 101-yard pick six or a 97-yard pick six, one of those. Yeah, the record.
Yeah.
You hate to see that. You really just hate to see that. Josh Allen didn't play great. The Bills couldn't run the ball.
Never. They
Stephon Diggs went. He played great. As usual. What's new? But the Ravens just didn't. The Bills finally stepped up on defense. This was the game that we saw numerous times last year, and we weren't seeing this year. And then finally, in the biggest moment against the most versatile quarterback in the NFL, they step up and they stop him. And I know that Monte has always said that we don't need Lamar to be a great passer. We kind of do in that moment. In these types of games, when the run game isn't really kicking like it's usually kicking, you need the passer. And 162 yards, 14 completions, and a pick, that's bad. Did he throw a touchdown in the last game? Because I know he threw the pick. I know he threw a pick last game.
The last game, though. The one that won, though.
So he didn't throw a touchdown?
No,
So
he didn't.
he has 0 touchdowns, 2 picks in this postseason. That's bad. That is simply not good. And if you can't step up your game in the playoffs, can I call Lamar Jackson a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? No. Honestly, no. Because if you can't step up, if you can't make the right plays in the playoffs, and now I'm looking at it like, was he really the reason that they won that game last week? I know he had a great rushing performance.
Yeah, he is the reason.
The defense played great.
Defense
played great again. Defense played great again this week too.
His lowest.
Yeah. Defense played great again this week too.
Facilitated that offense.
Yeah, no. He but on the ground. And
in the air.
And now he's held to just 34 rushing yards and they're held to 3 points. You gotta I know his receivers were bad. And that's not his fault at all. His receivers are not good. Mark Andrews is a reception tight end. He catches the football. Marquise Brown is his only option, really. Willie Snead is awful. 5 catches for 25 yards is terrible. Like I said last week, his best ability is that he can catch the football. He can't do anything else. Marquise Brown has definitely stepped up, but I feel like that's because Lamar Jackson has literally nobody else to throw the ball more than 15 yards down the field to. So the Ravens need a wide receiver. They need a wide receiver so bad, and they also need to improve the offensive line. The offensive line has to play better, but they definitely need a wide receiver this offseason, whether it's in the draft or whether it's in free agency, because Lamar throwing for 162 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick, that's awful. That's terrible. And I don't want to blame Lamar.
Another thing that messed up the Ravens was the missed field goals.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, the missed field. They missed 2 field goals, which the Bills they had a good yardage at the moment after they made field goals. So that led them to even though they probably didn't score on those possessions, but that's still.
And that's insane because Justin Tucker's probably
the one played
the best kicker. Dare I say the best kicker of all time?
One of the most accurate kickers of all time.
And you missed 2 field goals.
That kind of what leads to my take on this game. So I'm not going to blame this all on Lamar, but I feel like everybody deserves a little blame.
Yeah,
in a sense. Justin Tucker missed 2 field goals inside the 50, which is unheard of him.
Yeah, because he has an insane leg.
Back to back, and if you think about it, it's 9-17. It's one touchdown game. That's a 1 touchdown game. Although Lamar, who knows if Lamar would have got hurt, but that's a 1 possession game right there. And Lamar did turn the ball over, a crucial turnover, but I'm not going to say it was all on him.
No. I wasn't trying to say it was all his fault. I was just saying he probably deserves most of the blame, like the majority, not like all of it, but probably a good amount. Because that was a huge turnover.
Yeah, this Baltimore offense, it played okay, but it wasn't. You can't. They're 7 for 17 on third down, which is pretty good compared to the Buffalo 4 for 13 on third down. They had time for possession 35 minutes to 24 minutes. It's they just couldn't get it done when they got on the Bills' side of the field, field goal wise and just scoring wise. The Bills. I mean, Josh Allen played a decent game. They still can't run the ball at all, which I feel is going to be a problem.
Yes.
Maybe it didn't play a factor in this game, but one of the games, either this game or if they make it to the Super Bowl, is going to be a problem.
I mean, unless they play the Bucs.
Yeah,
nobody can run the ball on them.
Yeah, I mean, nobody can. But I don't know. I feel like the Ravens, they're a team that needs some work on both sides of the ball, especially at the receiving side of the. Lamar needs some weapons. You can't have him
desperately.
You can't have him run the ball every play.
Yeah.
I still feel that he doesn't need to be a passer, a great passer in the playoffs in order to win games. I feel like it would help, but I feel like him getting 180, but having a 65 to 70% completion rating, 1 touchdown, and 100 yards running, I feel like that's the solution of winning games. He doesn't have to go for 250. We saw in this game he couldn't run the ball really, which played a factor because usually he's the guy who's getting most of the yards when they're rushing the ball. They kind of spread it out more this game, but the Bills played fantastic on defense. Definitely showed they're one of the better defensive teams in the league.
Yes.
Finally,
they will.
Because last year we're talking they probably have the best defense in the league, and they had a major drop off in the beginning of the season.
They have so many talented players on that defense too, all over the field.
Yeah, and now they're starting to come together. But congratulations to the Bills.
Yes.
The Ravens need some work to do.
One other thing about the Ravens, I mean, I think they have a real big problem, honestly. And I know I keep kind of shitting on Lamar, but if their key to victory is get our quarterback 100 rushing yards, I mean that's not reliable. I know it's Lamar, but that's not reliable. And I know that you said he doesn't have to be a great passer in the playoffs, and I don't think he has to be one either. But I think in the moments he has to be a great passer. He has to step up and he has to make the plays. Simple as that. He has to step up. He has to make the plays.
But I feel like I know he can do it. He showed it in the Browns game where they had to win. That was the beginning where they had to go on like a 5-game win streak or 4-game win streak. He showed that he could come in. He showed it in
college too. Yeah. I don't know if it's a playoff problem. Maybe I don't want to say he's choking, but
I don't think so. I think this game was really a toss-up. Either way, the Bills could have won. The Ravens could have won. I don't know. I don't feel like it was completely Lamar's fault. I mean,
no.
He threw I felt like in the first quarter. I'm not sure if you watched the game or not.
I didn't get a chance to catch the first quarter. I was at
So the first quarter, every time they were on offense, the first quarter, he threw the ball 4 times. He was 3 for 4.
Yeah, that's terrible play calling.
I felt like they were overrunning in the first quarter. And so now in the second quarter, you got to play catch up.
Right.
And that's where he was throwing them. He was okay, yeah. And he got to the red zone, threw the pick. I don't know. I feel like with Lamar, you can't be scared to pass, but you can't overrun. You know what I mean?
I just you make a good point. It's really bad play calling that plays a part as well.
Yeah, remember Lamar got upset last year. Remember that?
Yeah,
because he was like, they know what we're running.
Yeah, I mean, it's their scheme was very, it was groundbreaking at first. People were like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then in the playoffs, when everything gets tighter and you have time to focus on one opponent, you're not really worrying about, we got next week. You're really taking it one game at a time. And playoff football, as we know, it gets tighter, just like playoff basketball. It's way different. It's a completely different football game in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And I mean, when you pretty much make yourself one-dimensional, it's hard to win games.
It's not gonna work. Yeah.
It's really hard to win games when you
Right.
pretty much base the offense around running the football. And when you can't run the football, then what the fuck are you going to do? Because you have no wide receivers. You don't throw the ball enough. You haven't gotten your young quarterback in rhythm. You only threw the ball 4 times in the first quarter. That's terrible. I mean, that's a bad play call.
They will run the ball 2 times, and now it's 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and then you have to throw the ball.
How many of those do you think he's going to complete? He can't complete every single
Right.
pass.
Exactly. And especially when they know that you have to throw the ball on 3rd and 7.
Yeah,
like I've been saying this. I think I said this like 5 or 3 podcasts in a row. If you make yourself one-dimensional, you're losing the football game. If you can't, I mean, unless you're Patrick Mahomes, because I mean, he could just go for 600 yards.
That's why the Bucs changed, because they're running the ball crazy in the playoffs.
Yes,
they're passing great, not great, but they're passing really good.
Yeah.
And they're running the ball extraordinary. They're one of the better running football teams in the playoffs right now, and that's why early on they had struggles because they kept trying to throw the ball deep, run the ball here and there, but not really doing that. That's like in the Saints game, the second time they met and the Saints blew them out. They ran the ball the fewest times in NFL history. They only ran the ball 5 times.
Yeah, they just didn't know that. Like, there's so many. It's crazy because the Ravens are such a good team, but they have so many question marks. So it's like they have so many obvious holes, but are they going to fill them? I really hope. I mean, getting a player like Allen Robinson or Kenny Galladay or drafting a receiver like Tylan Wallace late. I mean, that would be great for them. That would be fantastic. I mean, I saw a bunch of mock drafts with them getting Chris Olave, even though he declared today he's going back to college, which makes sense. But I mean, there's so many. This is such a deep wide receiver class. It's one of the deepest in recent years, and it's a great. You have 2 great free agent wide receivers too. So it's really all on the Ravens to do what they have to do and upgrade that team.
They got a tight end.
They got to do something.
Backs. Now you need to get them receivers right.
Yes. And they need receivers. They need interior offensive line, and that offense is going to be insane next year if they can, make the right additions.
So the Bills will be playing the Chiefs, as I said, Sunday night football. So it should be a close one. But that moves us on to our next game. Sunday, the Browns played the Chiefs, and which was a really close game, like as I predicted. The Chiefs came out with the win, 22-17 in the close game.
Yeah, I was very wrong.
What was the reason why the Chiefs won this game, and what could have the Browns done in order to win the game?
Don't forget to change the thing at the bottom. There you go. All right. So for the Chiefs, they played fantastic defense all game, and this was a very hot Browns offense. Obviously, coming off a ridiculous performance against the Steelers.
Yep.
It was weird. They had some weird play calling that I don't really understand, because if you look at the stats, you got 2 running backs averaging 5.3 yards per carry, but neither of them had more than 13 carries. Kareem Hunt only carried the ball 6 times. Baker Mayfield threw the ball 37 times. And I understand that they were down early.
Yeah.
But once the game got close, I don't understand why they were not running the football, because they have a top 3 running back in the NFL, Nick Chubb, and they have another probably top 15 running back in the NFL, in Kareem Hunt.
I was saying if he was a starter, but
I mean, I'm not. Yeah, probably if he was starting, he would probably be top 10. And you only run the ball. You only run the ball with them a total of 19 times, and you throw it 37 times.
Nick Chubb
being Jarvis Landry,
18 yards in the first half.
Like, it's again awful play calling. Your best receiver is Jarvis Landry. He had 7 catches for 20 yards. That's awful.
2.9 yards per catch.
That's awful. That is terrible. I don't understand. I mean, they have one of the best run blocking offensive lines in the NFL, and they decided we're going to throw the ball all game, which They were averaging 5.3 yards per carry each.
Yep.
I mean, it was what they cut the score to like probably less than a touchdown.
Yeah.
And they just kept throwing the ball. It just didn't make any sense. It made no sense to me. But I think that's the big reason why they lost this game. Just poor play calling. And the door was wide open once Pat Mahomes got injured. And
Yeah, that was the opportunity right there.
And Chad Henne threw that fucking ridiculous interception.
Yeah, he almost cost them
That
the
was
game.
that was awful. That was so bad. But I don't understand. It was bad play calling, but the offense. I mean, Tyreek Hill had 8 for 110. Travis Kelce had 8 for 109 and a touchdown. There's not more you can ask from your top two weapons. They played an okay game offensively. I'm upset because my prediction was quite wrong. It was I thought it was going to be 42-24, but obviously Pat Mahomes getting injured kind of fucked that up. They probably weren't going to score 42 anyways. But the Browns, I mean, they have a bright future. They just have to lean on what they're good at, and that is running the football.
I feel like
they don't have a number one wide receiver on the field.
I feel like we would take them seriously if Baker can work with Odell.
Yes.
If they figure out that connection where Baker's playing like he is now, and he's playing properly, and he's doing the right reads, but Odell's still getting, what he needs.
Yeah,
100 yards a game, something like that.
Not even.
He's a top 5 receiver.
Yeah.
One healthy.
Easily top 5 receiver.
One healthy, yeah. So if they could figure out that team, we'd probably be talking about them in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
It wouldn't be crazy to think that. So,
and I think Baker is so underrated. I feel like he has insane mobility within the pocket. He has insane accuracy on the move. I mean, he's so insane. I loved him coming out of college. His rookie year, he was making insane throws, and then he took a step back, but he's looking like the Baker Mayfield from his rookie year. I mean, just confident. He just looks confident.
And even better because he's not throwing as many picks as his rookie year either.
He just looks way different when he plays the game. I think he had an okay game. I almost said great game, but he had an okay game.
But he couldn't rely on play action. That's why I didn't do better because they didn't ran the ball that many times.
And again, you don't have a number one wide receiver on the field. I mean, Rashad Higgins was their leading receiver. That's simply bad. That's simply bad. Simple as that. That's bad. But when you have Rashad Higgins as your number one wide receiver, and when you have Jarvis Landry, who's supposed to be the number one wide receiver, with 7 for 20. So, I mean, just once Odell gets back, it's going to be a way different team. And yeah, I mean, they figured out though. I wouldn't be surprised if they're in Super Bowl contention next year, especially if they add some pieces to that defense.
Which is already crazy.
Yes.
But I really think that where the Browns went wrong, they tried to play the Kansas City way. And Kansas City played the Browns way.
Yeah, it was quite a weird game.
The Chiefs ran the ball successfully. They had 5.1 yards a carry. Darrell Williams had 6 yards a carry.
Which is great.
That's uncalled for the Chiefs because
they barely run the ball.
In the beginning of the season, they were good with Clyde, but then he started to slow down. Then these numbers were just out of reach. Pat Mahomes.
I wish they gave Le'Veon Bell the ball more.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't understand why. I mean, it's not like he's washed.
He's not the same.
The Jets ruined him.
He ruined himself. He shouldn't have
taken that year off.
He shouldn't have sat out.
Jets ruined it. That Adam Gase
play with the Steelers and just let it roll. Let it roll out.
Adam Gase just takes players into his team and kills them. He hates NFL players, I guess.
But yeah, the Chiefs played. They played
good enough to win, and that's all you need.
They played a complete game on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. They only gave up 300 yards in total, which is pretty good. And they had 440 yards in total on the offense.
Yeah.
So that's
the recipe for success.
That's the recipe for success. And the Browns played really good. You got to tip your hat off.
Yeah.
They played really
play a
good
football game.
They tried to come back. They almost did it, but
just a bad game plan. Whatever game plan they had just did not work.
The starting off slow killed them. They They finished great.
They finished very strong.
They finished very strong, but that slow start it messed up.
Yeah, you hate to see that.
And that moves us to our next game.
Yes.
Probably the second most anticipated game, depending on how you look at it. We have a game where this game was just history. You make it probably Drew Brees' last game. We had the Saints versus Buccaneers.
Even though he is
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers finally beat the New Orleans Saints 30-20.
And this was my only wrong prediction of the week.
Tom will be his 14th,
which is insane. Conference
championship.
Insane. He's literally just stat padding. Like, he's already the GOAT.
He wants another one.
I mean, if you win 7 Super Bowls, I mean, holy shit. He has 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he has 7, I mean, that's Bill Russell type shit.
Yeah, I mean, he already said he's playing next year. He already said it.
I'm not surprised because, I mean, he threw 40 touchdowns this year, which I said would never happen again. So he said, Bannock, you're simply a bitch. I was like, my fault, Tom. My bad.
So why were the Bucs successful in this game?
Defense.
Defense.
That defense carried. Tom Brady was in his Alex Smith bag. He played a great game manager game, 18 for 33, 199, 2 touchdowns, and that's all you need. He also had a QB sneak touchdown, greatest QB sneaker of all time.
And they ran the ball amazing.
And they ran the ball.
That helped them
amazing.
Out.
Even though Leonard Fournette had an okay game rushing, I mean, 3.7 per carry is not good, but Ronald Jones played great. He almost had more yards than.
And I don't even think he was 100% healthy.
No, he wasn't. He was injured. He had 4 less carries than Leonard Fournette and only had 1 yard less, averaging 4.8 per carry. I mean, there's nothing else you need. Mike Evans got clamped the fuck up.
But that always happens against the Saints.
Yeah. Marshawn Lattimore usually always shits on him.
Yeah.
But the ball was spread out like always.
Yeah, and I mean Leonard Fournette had a great game receiving too. 5 for 44 in a touchdown, which is, I mean, Leonard Fournette's probably one of the most disappointing, draft picks in recent memory. But
you think so?
Absolutely. That, bro, do you not understand the hype that man had coming out of college?
Man, I felt like he played really well in
He did play really. I was looking at his stats the other day. He played so good in Jacksonville.
And
I don't know what happened.
AFC championship.
I don't know what happened. I mean, he had a career year his last year.
Yeah, last year he had a career year.
He started getting hurt, and that's when.
But still had a career year in yards.
Something happened. I mean, it's still disappointing to see where he is now.
I think the Jacksonville. I mean, they made. I guess they made a good decision because James Robinson is a really good running back.
Brady bouncing in the pocket, throws over the middle.
That's what we love to see.
But yeah, I mean, Leonard Fournette, honestly, in my opinion, has not lived up to the hype. But if he can set up a great career,
he's been disappointed because he's been playing.
No, he's been okay, but he has not lived up to the hype. You would have thought he would have been like Derrick Henry right now. That was the hype.
Okay, I understand that.
College, he was dominant in college. He was insane in college.
Yeah.
I mean, there was that play. I think it was against what? It was Auburn, where he just fucking threw that guy. Like, he literally just threw him, like launched him. He went into a different universe. I feel so bad for him.
He has a bald head.
He does. He had a bald head at like 18. Like, the man's built simply different than everybody else. But
I understand what you're trying to say. Yeah.
They did what they had to do. The defense played great. I mean, Devin White had 10 tackles. You got Levante with 6. You got, a safety with 5. That's pretty good. And they picked them off 3 times, forced a fumble. They were just making Drew Brees' life awful. And Michael Thomas had no catches, not even 1. I mean, at least Mike Evans had 1. Michael Thomas had 0. He was getting
clamped.
He was getting clamped.
Second-string cornerback, Sean Murphy-Bunting. He played fantastic.
He did. He played way above his talent, which is what you love to see. And they just don't have any other really great wide receivers outside of Michael Thomas. They don't really have any other great weapons. I mean, Alvin Kamara did great. Looking at the defense that he's playing, I mean, he averaged 4.7 yards per carry.
Yeah, they were running the
best rushing defense in the NFL.
That was probably the best. That was probably the most yards anybody ever got on team.
Right. I mean, he played great. You can't really ask him to play any better, especially against this team. Drew Brees was just bad. Simple as that. He was just bad. He lost the game. He was bad.
Yeah.
19 for 34 for 134, a touchdown, and 3 picks. That's awful. That's not even bad. That's terrible. And they lost because of him, in my opinion. The defense played great for Tampa Bay. The defense played great, honestly, for New Orleans, too. They didn't play bad. They played fantastic defense. When
you give Tampa a short field,
Yeah.
I mean, when you turn the ball over 4 times, you're
just
not going to game.
They just fell apart in the last quarter.
Yeah. I mean, 4 turnovers to 0. Yeah, I mean, that's the game.
So, Gio, what do you feel like on this?
I feel like definitely the defense is the reason why the Bucs win the game. You know, the turnovers, all the, you know, like you stated, all the tackles that the players had. They just, I don't know, bro. Their offense could have played better, but I understand. I feel like that'll improve next game though.
Yeah. They've definitely won games.
If they do want to go to the Super Bowl, their defense has to play like they played on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean this is the biggest game of the season for that Bucs defense.
Yeah.
I know that they already blew them out, but this is a completely different Packers team.
Yeah, things change.
And clearly we've seen that blowouts don't really matter because the Saints blew the Bucs out and the Bucs just won. Yeah. So I'm excited. I feel like I hope it's going to be a good game.
So my thing on this game, both sides, both defenses played phenomenal.
Yes.
The Saints were just playing great coverage. They got after they collapsed the pocket on Tom a few times. They really played great. They tried to hold Tom. You know, the Saints had the lead for most of the game until like around that third quarter, I believe. Yeah. Around the third quarter. But at the end of the day, Tom made the proper he was like you said, he was a game manager. He wasn't risky with the ball, trying to put it in harm's way. Scotty Miller made one of the biggest catches in the game.
What a guy, Scotty Miller.
Yeah, Scotty Miller, what a
guy. What a guy.
Cameron Brate, another good week.
I mean, out of nowhere, he was their best receiver.
Yeah, out of nowhere, from the third string tight end in the beginning of the season to a playoff. Is he Tom's new Amendola? I guess so.
Imagine.
Yeah, but Drew Brees, he threw 2 picks. Well, he threw 3 in total, but he threw 2 picks that were completely his fault. The other one hit Jared Cook in the hands and it bounced off.
Yeah, you gotta catch that.
And then their 4th turnover, Jared Cook again caught the ball and then
selling the fucking bag.
Yeah, so Jared Cook, yeah, he got a lot to work on.
Yeah, he sold.
Yeah, but it's Drew Brees in the Saints offense didn't play it well enough to win this game.
No.
They turned the ball over too much, and that was going to be the key to the game, as we saw in the past 2 matchups that Tampa turned the ball over too many times and lost.
And credit to the Saints, turned the ball over 4 times, but you only lost by 10. So I know it's more of victories suck.
Yeah, most of the turnovers came in the last quarter. The 2 picks.
I mean, they played really good
in the third.
So, so if this is Drew Brees' last game,
you hate to see that, but
you hate to see it, but he'll be remembered as one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Yes. And then Tom Brady next year will pass him for most yards ever.
Yeah, in every category, he'll pass him, except for completion percentage, but he'll probably pass him for yards.
He's only 2,000 yards behind him. Not even. He's probably 1,300 yards behind him.
So
unless Tom Brady is awful next year, then he's passing.
What a career by Drew Brees. But every good quarterback, has to, lose to Brady in the playoffs. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. It happens to all the greats. It happened to Peyton. That's about it. All right, and happened to Peyton, Phillip Rivers.
It'll be Aaron Rodgers this year.
Yeah,
Aaron
maybe
Rodgers could be next on the list.
Maybe he'll show Aaron Rodgers why he's,
You know that meme of the Grim Reaper walking and like it's the doors and there's like
yeah.
the blood coming out. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is next. He's knocking on the door.
Next.
We'll see if Aaron
That
Rodgers.
leads us to our next segment. The first game of this coming weekend on Sunday. The Buccaneers versus the Packers. What is your prediction? What is your score and why? Gio, you can start.
Man, yeah.
This game to me, it could go either way. I'm having a tough time choosing who I'm deciding to win for myself. I feel like the Buccaneers will pull it out in a close one, probably 27-24. I feel like it's gonna come down to like a last second drive. Brady's just gonna go on the field, kick a field goal to win the game. But the Packers can win this game as well. They've been dominant all year, both sides of the ball, offense and defense. But I can't bet against Brady, so I'm gonna have to go with the Bucs here, 27-24.
Mr. Murati?
I don't know. It's a really hard one because, I mean, you got the two clutchest quarterbacks probably ever playing this game, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is pretty much known for just, making insane clutch plays. He's the king of the Hail Mary. He always seems to make the plays that you need him to make. And then, I mean, Brady, he's the king of the fourth quarter pretty much. I'm pretty sure he has the most game-winning drives ever.
Yeah, it does.
So it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be close all the way down, and whoever has the ball last is gonna win this game. And I think that it will be the Green Bay Packers barely winning this football game, probably on a ridiculously long field goal, probably after Aaron Rodgers somehow completes like a 60-yard Hail Mary to Robert Tonyan or some shit on like 4th and 30. Barely get them into field goal
That'll
range.
be nuts, bro.
I mean, we've seen that happen before. I mean, the game I remember is the Cowboys. I mean, that ridiculous Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And then
the Cardinals
field
too.
goal. Yeah, the field goal was going left, and then it somehow snuck in. So it was. I mean, I'm expecting a ridiculous end to this game. And I think the Packers are going to pull it off. I think defense is again going to be the theme of this game. I got Packers 20, Bucks 17.
And so that leaves off with me. And as I said in the last time we talked, I can't bet against Brady.
Yeah, completely understandable.
Me being a Patriots fan, I know what he's done. You can't bet against him. He's my favorite player of all time. But there's this thing.
It's so hard to imagine. It's so hard to imagine losing or Tom Brady losing in the playoffs.
Yeah,
like that's so weird. It's like LeBron losing before the finals. It's like what? No, that simply just does not happen.
Right. But Tom Brady, he's built for these moments. He's showed throughout his whole career he's built for the playoffs. Yes. That's when he's the best. That's when he's at his top of his game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he doesn't lose really. He's been
he plays for the playoffs.
He's been to 14 of these. Well, 13 about to be 14, more than Aaron Rodgers. So he has more experience.
And the 5.
I feel like the key. So the thing about this game is the Bucks are, I feel like, going to be more explosive on offense than they were against the Saints because the Packers don't. Their defense is not as good as the Saints, obviously.
Yeah.
So, can I see Brady going for 400 this game? Yeah, I can. I could see it. I can see it.
I can see 250 at the moment.
To who?
250? Are you crazy?
I don't think he's gonna throw the ball that much. I think they're gonna keep it a simple game plan.
So here's what I'm thinking about Brady. He's gonna have 300 yards at the minimum. In 3 touchdowns.
But to who? Because Jair Alexander, whoever he decides to guard, is not catching the football. Simple as that.
And guess what? He has 4 other receivers now.
Yeah, but who is he taking away? Who? I think it's.
Does it matter?
I think you're underestimating this Packers secondary. They're very talented secondary and very talented
But
defense.
it's not close to the Saints. It's not. It's not even close to the Saints.
Listen. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Brady has a similar game to what he just had against the Saints.
I feel like we have a little bit better, but I don't think he's gonna have an outstanding like 400 plus. I don't think he's gonna have.
No, I'm just saying I can see him go for 400 if that's what they need. If they're gonna pass the game away, then I could see him go for 400. But they're probably not gonna do that. But I could see 300 at the minimum and 3 touchdowns. Jair takes away Mike Evans. You got Chris Godwin. You have Antonio Brown. You got Cameron Brate. You got Grunk, and you got Fournette in the pass game, who's been doing pretty well. And Antonio Brown last game against the Saints really didn't do anything because of an injury that was lingering. So he didn't really produce as much as he did in the previous games before that. But who are you gonna? You can't take away every receiver, and every receiver is a danger. They can explode. Leonard Fournette can explode for 70 receiving yards. Chris Godwin can explode for 130. Antonio Brown could do the same thing. You could take You could take Mike Evans out. You could take him, but Mike Evans may get 20 yards if he takes him out. But that's saying that Jair is the best corner in the league, and he's better than Marshawn Lattimore. When Marshawn Lattimore is really good.
Easily. No, Jair Alexander's second best corner in the league. Easily.
You see what he did this
easily. No, easily. He's miles ahead of Marshawn Lattimore right now.
I don't know. Marshawn Lattimore was playing spectacular.
He was, but I mean, they have a really good defense. I think you're underestimating that defense.
I just don't think it's as good as the Saints. I don't.
They're so talented though.
I don't think they can go the pocket on Tom Brady like they did it with like the Saints did, and I don't think their defensive backs are as good as the Saints. So therefore, this is going to be a close game, but I'm going to go with the Bucks. Aaron Rodgers, the Bucks need to play. If they play the same way that they did against the Saints just now, the Bucks are going to win easily because they're taking away everybody. But that's if that's not guaranteed. But if Aaron Rodgers has a good game, I see the Bucks winning 30-24.
30-24. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened either.
Because I don't see Aaron Jones going off like Alvin Kamara did. Alvin Kamara was just playing spectacular. He is playing great. And he's not as shifty as Alvin Kamara. So,
I mean, Aaron Jones is one of the best running backs in the NFL, though. I think he's easily top 10. He could be top 5.
He started off high, and during the season he started to decrease, but he's still the top running back, but he's not the same type of running back as Alvin Kamara. And I feel like Alvin Kamara's like how he is as a running back, an elusive back, I felt like that played a factor in him getting those yards against the Bucks instead of Aaron Jones, who's more like
he's a bowling ball pretty much.
Yeah,
he's a very physical runner.
Yeah, and I don't see that working against the Bucks D line.
Okay.
So, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is gonna have to carry this game in order to win. He's gonna have to go crazy, which is possible. But I mean, can't bet against Brady, like I said. So I'm gonna go 30-24 Bucks in a close one. So yeah.
I have more faith in the Packers defense than I think you do. I really like the Packers.
I agree with you, Bennett.
Zadarius Smith is, one of the best offensive linebackers in the NFL. He's top 3 in sacks.
Yeah, he is.
Jair Alexander's stats are ridiculous. The advanced stats.
You saw what Cam Akers did to Zadarius Smith? I
did not.
Stephon, that was crazy.
Yeah, you should on him.
I was bringing it up.
Put him on the ground, bro.
Yeah, it was bad, but go ahead.
But Jair, the man is insane. He's number 7 in yards per reception, number 3 in yards per target, first in pass breakups, number 9 in catch rate, number 2 in coverage rating. He only allows 1 yard of separation, or 1.05, which is 27th, which is it's good the lower you are. I'm pretty sure. It's just he's insane. He's just insane. Simple as that. He's only allowed 4 touchdowns all year.
He's going to take away one receiver, Benny. Do you understand that?
I know, but he's going to take away their best receiver, which means Mike Evans will probably be
He
gone.
took away Mike Evans last game.
I know, and Brady only had 199. That's not going to work
Still had
against this
3
team.
passing touchdowns.
It's not going to work against this team. This is a very different team with a very different quarterback with a very different offense than the Saints. And I think that this Packers offense is going to have a great game. I think the defense is going to step up because they're a very talented defense, even though some of their players have been underperforming all year. They're going to step up. They're going to make the plays. Jair Alexander is going to – I mean, Kevin King's not even bad. They got Darno Savage, Adrian Amos, Preston Smith, Zadarius Smith, Dean Lowry, Kenny Clark. They're so talented on every single level of that defense. They're just going to make plays.
Tom is going to have a lot more time than he did against the Saints.
We'll see. I have faith in this Packers team.
All right. So now we move on to the last game, the AFC Championship. I think a lot of people predicted this heading into the playoffs. It would be this matchup, and it is the Bills versus Chiefs.
It's hard to predict this game because it all comes down
It
to
all comes down to Mahomes. Yeah. It all comes down to the injury report.
Let's see.
Mahomes going to play.
But will he be 100% though?
That's
He has
what
a concussion.
Bro,
Let's see.
concussion could be bad, bro.
Patrick Mahomes played.
Concussion
on
is not
Sunday.
taking away your arm strength.
Yeah, but it's kind of taking away your brain. So
I
I
think
mean that's probably more important.
Think about if he gets hit another time like that. What could happen?
Yeah, he might be dead.
Who
But
knows?
so according to the NFL, 29 quarterbacks suffered concussions from 2015 to 2019. The median number of those days missed was 7. So we can assume that he will play if statistics carry out the same, which don't always happen.
He's going to play no matter what.
We can assume that, well, I mean, if he can't play, then he can't play. But I'm going to assume that he's going to play. So I'm going to pick the Chiefs. The Bills have not been very impressive in the postseason. They had a close game against the Colts, a game that I don't think should have been as close. The offense was kind of tweaking. The defense did not play great. And then against the Ravens, again, the offense was not great.
Right. It's like Stephon Diggs did have 120, but
nobody else
only
really
had
did.
20 yards in total. So, I mean, it's not a great overall game. It was a great game.
Bills defense played great, but as we were discussing earlier, the Ravens offense is not very good if you can stop Lamar from running the football because he doesn't really have anybody to throw the ball to. So then he kind of becomes a non-factor. Patrick Mahomes is completely different. You got Travis Kelce, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Mecole Hardman, you got Le'Veon Bell, you got Damian Williams. I mean,
Clyde might be back as well.
Clyde might be back. Sammy
Darrell
Watkins.
Williams.
Oh, yeah, Darrell Williams, sorry. And then Sammy Watkins might play. I'm not sure. But that team is stacked
I think
offensively.
this is a good matchup because the Bills defensively have three Pro Bowler DBs.
Yeah, no, they have a very good defense. But I mean, it's a completely different offense that they're playing. They have not touched an offense like this all postseason.
Right.
So I think the Chiefs really have a great chance to win this game if Patrick Mahomes plays. It just comes down to whether or not the Chiefs defense can play like they did against the Browns.
Right.
Although we also talked about the Browns kind of had poor play calling because they should have ran the ball more. But also the Bills can't run the ball. So we're going to see probably a very heavy – and I think the Chiefs defense is actually really good against the run.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's probably their best aspect. So, I mean, the Bills are going to be forced to throw the ball. And like I said, if you're one-dimensional, you're probably not going to win the game. So I got the Chiefs. I don't think it's going to be crazy close. I got the Chiefs 31 to the Bills 20.
Okay. Gio?
Like I said, this game is probably going to come down to Mahomes' health, but I got the Bills. I got the Bills winning 24 to hold on, 21-18. It's gonna be a weird score.
21-18. Funky. I mean, we have seen funky ass scores, so
Yeah,
I would be
21-18. I think it's gonna be a close game. I feel like the Bills defense stepped it up a lot from the last meeting between these two. So I think if Mahomes plays, they could pressure him, make him throw deep. They could probably force a turnover, but that is hard with the amount of weapons that Mahomes has. I feel like the Bills could get the job done. They just have to make the right plays at the right time.
Yeah. If Mahomes plays, I mean, the defensive game plan should be simply hit Patrick Mahomes every single chance you get.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's probably dirty.
But
I mean, you gotta win games. You gotta win games because if Patrick Mahomes is gone, you got Chad Henne in there. I mean, anything is possible, but I don't think they're winning that game with Chad Henne at quarterback.
No,
right. I think the defensive game plan is probably going to be hit Mahomes as much as possible without, you can step over the line a little bit, but don't just head first and smash him.
Don't get penalized. Don't get penalized.
Don't get too horny, but a little horny is okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go with the Kansas City Chiefs as the back-to-back AFC champions. I'm gonna assume that Pat Mahomes will be healthy. He'll be fine. He'll be the same Patrick Mahomes that we've saw.
I hope so.
The Bills,
I don't hope so.
Don't run the ball. And I think this is where it's gonna bite them in the you know what.
You can swear, Monte, because I've been swearing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I just felt like saying that. It felt right.
I've quite the potty mouth.
We're gonna bite them in the you know what.
Yes.
But this will be a close game. But it's gonna be a close game because of the Bills' defense. Their DBs are really good. Do I think they're gonna stop Patrick Mahomes? No. Will they slow him down a tad bit? Yeah,
I think so.
But slowing down Pat Mahomes a tad bit is still 250.
Still like 280.
Yeah. With the offense that the Bills
you know what I mean? Especially in the playoffs. So
it'll be good.
They established a run game last game against the Browns, who has a good D line. With Myles Garrett, but he wasn't fully healthy. But I mean, they still ran the ball pretty well on the Browns. So if I feel like they can beat them both ways, really. The Chiefs could beat them just passing because I feel like they're the only team that could be one-dimensional on offense.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they can establish the run, they can beat them that way too. They can do it the traditional way. Josh Allen, he'll have a good game. Stephon Diggs will have a good game, but it won't be enough.
I'm expecting great games from.
I feel like Josh Allen will go for 282 touchdowns in a pick, and maybe get 50 yards rushing. And
I don't see a pick.
I see a pick.
Yeah, I don't see a pick either. He doesn't really.
I see a pick.
I don't see a pick.
Tyrann Mathieu getting one. Because Tyrann Mathieu's a really good. He's
a very good ball hacker safety.
But it all comes. You think the Chiefs can stop Diggs? Though?
Yeah.
You think they have like a?
I mean,
true number one corner to be on him.
But I feel like you can double him, so like you can have a safety.
But we've seen teams try to double him, and that sometimes doesn't work. On Diggs.
I understand, but what else you want? You want to just single coverage him? So you got to double him no matter what. I mean, they're gonna have to force him to feed like Cole Beasley, who can go off, but
which Josh Allen could do that.
I mean, we saw Stephon Diggs go for 130 last game, and Josh Allen only got 200 yards in total.
Yeah, that's not
what I mean. So that kind of gives you an indication, he may go off, but where else is he gonna really go?
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, if I'm the Chiefs, I mean, I think the defensive game plan is simply let Stephon Diggs beat us and cover everybody else. I mean, because we've seen that Stephon Diggs has gone off, but Josh Allen hasn't really gone anywhere else. Yeah. So if you can shut down every single wide receiver, I mean, unless Stephon Diggs turns into Randy Moss,
Stephon Diggs
you'll probably win that game.
No matter what you do, Stephon Diggs is going to get his. But
yeah, so if you know he's going to get his, you might as well just say, fuck it, guard everybody else.
But I feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game. Although I did compliment the Bills' secondary, but I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. Basically, did it to everybody.
Yeah.
So, I see the Chiefs winning this 35-25.
Ooh, another fun score.
I got the Chiefs really winning this game because of Patrick Mahomes. Chad Henne is in. The Bills are gonna win this.
Anything is possible, though, you know.
Anything is Hennessy. Hennessy is possible.
Henny given Sunday, am I right? Henny given Sunday.
He's off the hen dog. You want to do that? Go around? Where are you going?
Yeah, no, he was definitely off the Henny a little bit.
You've seen that third down scramble, though. Come on.
Yeah, it was impressive, but I don't know why. I didn't even know he's that fast.
I think all of our Super Bowl predictions are different too, because I have Chiefs Packers, Monte has Chiefs Bucks, Gio has Bills Bucks. So yeah, I mean all of our Super Bowl predictions are different, and I mean all those games. I think all those games would be fantastic.
Yeah,
honestly, I would probably be more excited for obviously my prediction of the Packers and the Chiefs because
they're
probably the two best offense in the NFL.
Because anything you look at it as Aaron Rodgers versus Pat Mahomes. That's the matchup of the gunslingers.
Yeah.
They got Pat Mahomes and they got Tom Brady.
Passing the torch.
The most
probably the future GOAT. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, I don't know about the Bills, but I mean,
yeah, bro. I mean,
Josh Bucks, I mean, the Bills Bucks. I mean, that's former AFC East.
Yeah, no, he's gonna show them who's dad if that happens.
You got Bills finally hoping to win a Super Bowl after they lost 4 straight Super Bowls in the 90s or 80s. One of those. Yeah, 4 straight Super Bowls, which is so funny.
Congratulations, but you lost 4 in a row. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you tried your best, but Jim Kelly simply was not enough, clearly. But yeah, I mean, there's great storylines. I feel like going into all of these games. Yeah, and especially, I mean, you can't really have a bad Super Bowl matchup.
No matter out of these 4 teams.
Yeah, but I mean, I would be upset if we get another Patriots Rams in the bowl. One of those type of games, 13-3. I really hope we don't see that.
I was pretty upset.
I really hope we don't see that.
I don't think a Super Bowl ever be like that with Pat Mahomes.
No, that was so disappointing. I was so mad. Wasn't that because I really thought because that both those offenses were so good, and then Tom Brady came out. He was playing bad. Jared Goff was getting clamped.
You know who it was? Gronk.
It was with that ridiculous catch.
Yeah.
And then Stephon Gilmore, I'm pretty sure, had like that crazy 4th down pass breakup.
Yeah,
interception. Yeah, that's insane.
That's
insane. Yeah, it was insane. But yeah, I mean, I hope we get a great Super Bowl because the Super Bowl is always one of the most fun games of the year.
Super Bowl last year was pretty good.
Super Bowl last year was pretty good. It was kind of underwhelming for me, but it was still pretty good. I mean, Patrick Mahomes had another crazy comeback. So yeah, I think we're gonna get a great game this year. Hopefully, there's a lot of good storylines usually make it more fun. So yeah, I'm excited, especially for these games. I think hopefully we don't get let down with some of these games.
I don't think we will. I think both games are gonna be phenomenal.
I also cannot wait for the virtual Pro Bowl played in Madden. Oh, I can't wait for that one.
That's gonna have an X factor.
Oh, I can't wait for that absolute banger of a game. Wow. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm intrigued.
Imagine if they had just every single player controlling themselves. Oh my god,
that'd be fire.
Server.
I know some are just terrible.
Bro, they can't even handle the yard, and that's 3v3. You think they're gonna handle 11v11? That's just gonna collapse. That's just falling off.
The defensive line is gonna just dominate. They're all gonna run the ball because they're gonna have runs.
Oh yeah, they're just instantly shedding. It'll be cool if they get like young Kiv and like some Madden professionals to play the Pro Bowl. That would be fire.
But is it even possible to play as an offensive lineman in Madden?
No, but I mean, I think like it would be cool like if they kind of had like the Madden Championship Series players come in and maybe play with one set of players, and then like when you make the subs like they do in the Pro Bowl, you get another guy to come in and play. I think that'd be fire. That's probably not. They're probably gonna fuck it up because it's the NFL and they can't really do anything very cool.
They're probably gonna
we'll see.
Yeah,
they'll probably have like I don't know. It'll be trash.
Those were our predictions on the games, and we reviewed every game from this past weekend. that concludes this podcast. We're gonna leave off with just the NFL topics for today. We'll see you guys for episode 6. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe,
Hit that like button as well.
and make sure you share this video.
Yes. And also make sure you hit up the greatest YouTuber to ever touch the planet, 101 Watts.
Hi, Monte.
Great, a great video just dropped today. Got another great video coming out on Friday. We're making big moves.
Big moves. So thank you guys for
I would
watching,
love to hear.
and we'll see you guys next time for episode 6. Thank you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.